Hello everyone, my name is Yao Wang from the University of Stuttgart. On behalf of my co-authors, Chuhan Jiao, Mihai Bashe, and Anders Bolling, I am honored to present our recent work, VisRecall, Quantifying Information Resolution Recallability via Question Answering. In previous work, the recognizability of visualizations are well studied. For example, this visualization is easy to recognize, since it has many arrows in the figure. The following visualization is a simple bar plot with only one color, which makes it hard to recognize if you have seen several similar bar plots in the magazine. However, because of the simplicity and the proper caption, some details of this visualization can still be recalled, such as the upper middle income group have the largest value. This phenomena inspires our work that memorizing whether you have seen a visualization before does not equal to remember the details in the visualizations. Then it naturally comes the question, how to quantify how much information an observer can recall from visualizations? And finally, is recallability predictable? Therefore, we employ a question answering paradigm to quantify the recallability of visualizations. In the experimental setting, visualizations are shown to viewers for a fixed duration in the encoding phase. In the recall phase, visualizations are blurred, and each has a multiple question next to it with single correct answer. Each question has one correct answer and two incorrect answers, and one option is always, I cannot remember. Every visualization corresponds to 5 multiple choice questions. We use the question correctness of all participants as the visualization recallability. Finally, visualizations are shown to viewers for 2 seconds in the recognition phase. The VisRecall dataset has 200 visualizations from the popular MassVis dataset, which is crowdsourced on the Amazon Mechanical Turk platform with 305 participants. It has 1,000 human annotated questions of 5 types. Questions regarding title, finding extremina, filtering labels, retrieving values, and understanding structures were trained. Then I will introduce the VisRecall dataset. We first plot the recall and recognition accuracy over all 404 human intelligent tasks on AMT. Participants can recognize most of the visualizations easily, but only answer less than half of the questions correctly. Then, we analyzed the recallability between question types and found title questions have significantly higher recallability scores than any other question types. For recallability between visualization types, pie plots have significantly higher recallability scores compared to any other types. Not surprisingly, we also found that the visualization complexity is positively correlated with the percentage of participants who selected I cannot remember. Lastly, we illustrate a quadrant of the visualizations according to their recallability and the recognizability scores. The bottom right quadrant is empty, meaning visualizations must be sufficiently memorable before they become recallable. The visualizations in the top right quadrant share some characteristics, like a big and a highlighted title and some explanatory text. Compared to the top right quadrant, visualizations in the top left quadrants are simple monotone plots with few embellishments, for example, like the isotype plots. Finally, the visualizations in the bottom right quadrant are easily forgettable and hard to recall. These visualizations are usually overly complex and need meaningful titles or additional explanatory text to convey key messages. Given the evidence above, recoverability is predictable from visualizations. Therefore, we propose RecallNet for recoverability prediction. RecallNet leverages the exception model to encode visualizations. Then, a global average pooling layer, a dense layer with 256 neurons, and finally a dense layer with 2 neurons are sequentially connected to predict the overall and fine-grained recoverability scores. We evaluate the RecallNet by mean squared error on with recall. Since this is the very first model regarding recoverability prediction, we compared our method with 2 other baselines, replacing the exception backbone with the ResNet 34 and the VGG16 models. RecallNet outperformed the baselines on their overall recoverability and 4 out of 5 fine-grained recoverability scores. To summarize our work, first, we adapt a question-answering paradigm to study recoverability of information visualizations. Second, we present with recall, a novel dataset consisting of 200 visualizations that are annotated with crowdsourced human recoverability scores obtained from 1,000 questions of 5 types. Third, we present the first computational model to predict the recoverability of information visualizations. Thank you for listening.